Christian Horner out, fired, banished from the empire he built with his own hands. And yet, he might be back before the next lights even go out. This time, he's not just coming back as a team boss, he could return as a part owner. Could Horner come back to haunt Red Bull in the near future? Whispers in the paddock suggest this comeback could happen faster than anyone imagined, maybe even before this weekend's Belgian Grand Prix. And if that happens, Red Bull had better start looking over their shoulders, because their ghost is already haunting them. This is the plot twist nobody saw coming. The mastermind who turned a fizzy drink company into Formula One's most unstoppable dynasty is gone after nearly 2 decades at the top. Not eased out, not retired, just cut. The man behind 6 constructors, titles, 8 drivers' championships, and Max Verstappen's iron grip on the sport was tossed aside like yesterday's pit strategy. But if you think this story ends in silence, think again. Horner's exit has sent shockwaves through the sport. For the first time since 2005, he isn't standing at the helm of Red Bull. He wasn't just the guy who turned up to every race for 20 years, he was Red Bull. He knew the machinery, the politics, the people. He shaped every part of the team's identity. And now, here we are, watching Red Bull wash their hands of him while the rest of the grid smells opportunity. So what happened? Publicly, nobody is saying much. But behind the scenes, it's chaos. Insiders talk of power struggles, big ones. Tensions with Helmut Marko. Clashes with the Verstappen camp. Some say the friction began right after Red Bull's historic 2023 season, when they won 21 out of 22 races. That kind of perfection can tear even the strongest alliances apart. Now Horner is gone. His contract was supposed to run until 2030, he should have been untouchable. Instead, he's been locked out, likely placed on what's called gardening leave. That's Formula One code for, we don't want you working for anyone else, but we're terrified that you might. And with good reason. Horner doesn't just know Red Bull's past, he knows their future. Engine plans, team strategy, 2026 secrets, all of it. So what happens now? Most people might fade away quietly, retreat into retirement, and enjoy their millions. But Horner isn't most people. He could have chosen to spend time with his family, to simply walk away. Instead, something far more dangerous is taking shape, and it's happening faster than anyone expected. There's talk of a return, not years down the line. Now, and not with just any team, 2 names have emerged, Ferrari and Alpine. Ferrari made a move earlier this year. Italian media reported they approached Horner about replacing Frédéric Vasseur. He laughed it off, joking in Barcelona, "My Italian is worse than Flavio Briator's English." Then in Montreal he said, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm fully committed to Red Bull." But that was before the axe fell. Now the Ferrari door might be creaking open again. Chairman John Elkann is still interested. Vasseur is still under pressure. And with Horner technically available, anything is possible. But moving to Italy, uprooting his family, it's messy. Adrian Newey turned Ferrari down for the same reason, and Horner is cut from the same cloth. Which brings us to the real contender, Alpine. And this is where things get wild. Alpine isn't just looking for someone, they're begging for leadership. Ever since Otmar Schaffner left last year, they've been adrift. Oliver Oakes walked away. Steve Nielsen has stepped in as managing director, but he's no team principal. He's not the guy. And you know who is? Christian Horner. Here's the kicker, the man pulling the strings at Alpine right now is none other than Flavio Briatore. Yes, that Briatore. The once banished, now resurrected dealmaker of old. He's Alpine's new executive consultant. And guess who he's been close friends with for decades? Christian Horner. Sky's Karan Chandhok laid it out perfectly. Christian's old friend, Flavio Briatore, is in charge as an executive consultant. That could be his future destination. And honestly, it makes too much sense. Enstone Alpine's HQ is just a short drive from Horner's home. No relocation, no disruption, just pure revenge. And then there's Ralf Schumacher, who didn't hold back. He claims Briatore is actively hunting for a strong new team boss, and that Renault might be prepared to give Horner a share of the outfit. And let's be clear, ownership is exactly what Horner has always wanted. A share, power, ownership, control. For Christian Horner, this isn't just about leading again, it's about building again from the ground up, but this time entirely his way. And for Red Bull, this is a nightmare scenario. The man who built their empire now potentially leading a rival team, armed with every secret they've tried to protect. So ask yourself, could it happen this weekend? Could Alpine, desperate for leadership, pull the trigger before Spa? Don't blink, because Horner's revenge arc might be kicking off faster than anyone imagined, and when it does, it's going to be loud. If Horner is spotted anywhere near the Alpine garage at Spa, expect shockwaves across the grid. Because this isn't just a comeback, it's a hostile takeover in disguise. And let's not forget who we're dealing with. Horner isn't some retiree clinging to nostalgia. He's the same man who transformed Jaguar's wreckage into Red Bull racing. The man who saw potential where no one else did. Back then, it was a midfield team with no direction. Today, it's Alpine, same vibe, same confusion, same potential. And that's where things get eerie. Alpine is floundering, stuck in midfield mediocrity, plagued by leadership vacuums with morale in free fall. Their last big shakeup, Flavio Briatore, a name that still rattles F1 fans. A man once banned from the sport for Crashgate, now welcomed back as an executive consultant. Bold, absolutely, desperate, without a doubt, but maybe, just maybe, necessary, because Alpine needs a savior. And Horner, he's done it before. Steve Nielsen might be stepping in to handle day-to-day operations come September, but let's be honest, he's never led a team. He's no fixer, no visionary. He's the guy who makes things run, not the guy who changes the game. That's Horner's territory. And here's where it gets wild. Sources say this isn't just about a job, it's about ownership. Ralf Schumacher hasn't held back, claiming Renault might offer Horner a share in the team. That's what he's always wanted. Let that sink in. If true, Horner could be stepping into Alpine not just as a team principal, but as a partner, a stakeholder. That's not just a comeback. That's a kingdom. He'd have the power to shape the team, its philosophy, and its future without answering to anyone but the board. And while Alpine has been sliding, there's another storm brewing on the horizon, the 2026 regulation shakeup. New engines, new rules, a rare chance to reset the entire playing field. That's the opening Horner needs. That's the gap he's targeting. So picture this, it's 2026. Red Bull rolls out with their Honda-bred monster, Verstappen leading the charge. But across the grid stands Alpine, rebranded, rebuilt, and reborn, and on their pit wall, Horner. Calm, calculating, waiting. Now ask yourself, who really won? Because if Horner takes Alpine from ruins to relevance, he won't just be proving a point. He'll be rewriting the Formula One power rankings. It won't be Red Bull's era anymore. It'll be Horner's revenge. And Red Bull, they'll have to watch it all unfold with a smile, knowing they let it happen. But wait, there's another twist. Ferrari isn't out of the story, not completely. John Elkann still looms in the background watching. Vasseur is still walking a tightrope. And if Alpine fumbles or stalls, what's stopping Ferrari from circling back? Imagine Horner in red. The Scarlet Whisper. The ultimate redemption arc. It's not likely, but in F1, never say never. Still, Alpine makes the most sense. It's local, it's personal, it's possible. So now, we're left with this. A man on pause, a team in need, and a sport on edge. Will Alpine move fast and fire the first shot at Spa? Will they wait until after the summer break to strike with calculated precision? Or is Horner playing the long game, waiting for his gardening leave to expire before launching his next empire? No matter the timeline, one thing is for sure, Christian Horner is not done. He said it himself, "I'm not going anywhere." Back then, it was a pledge to Red Bull. But now, it feels like a threat to everyone else. Because Horner might be out of Red Bull, but he's not out of Formula One. And if he's coming back to conquer. So what do you think? Is Alpine the right call? Will Horner rise again to haunt the team that discarded him? Or is there another twist still to come? Let us know in the comments. And if you're anywhere near the Red Bull garage this weekend, you might want to keep one eye on the STUNS garage. The ghost is already here.